We are QOTD and you are watching the Thursday Big Show. This is the culmination of an entire week of questions of the day. Every single day, we've been posting a new question for you to answer, and you have certainly come through giving us great answers to what I think are our awesome daily questions. But then the entire audience has been voting and sending stars to help us pick the best answers to each question. So for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, etc., Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have 6 great answers to each of those questions. And now in the Thursday Big Show, we're going to bring all those great answers to you, and you are going to vote for the best answers of the week. That's the way that we play QOTD on the Thursday Big Show. Hey, everybody. Hey, Trish. Hey, JJ. Hey, Reid. How are you doing?
Hi.
Doing well. Doing well.
Wow. I hope that you guys are as excited as I am about the Thursday Big Show. But, what happened this week? What are our questions? How do we tie this whole thing together? Tell me about it, Trish.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if this week's QOTDs were a musical, we would call it Flame. I'm gonna live, because we're talking about fire roasted coffee and Canadian wildfires. We're talking about burning books and liar, liar, pants on fire.
Now, that is a lot of flame. That is. Well, I can't say that I've heard every single answer, so I'm looking forward to the many surprises that we will get as we get into all of our live answers. So, what do you guys say?
Ready?
Yeah, I say let's get into it with our first question.
Okay, the first question was, if money were no object whatsoever, what would your dream job be?
Ooh, this was good because I think we end up falling into careers for security, but I always believed that you should pursue your passions because you only get this one life. So I think if I were to, my dream job would be to work on a question of the day based game show.
Excellent.
And do a daily video every morning.
Hey, they said if money were no object, like a big high-paying job like this.
Yeah, and it is not, let me tell you.
Well, yeah. No, the pictures that you guys were running in the intro of me as, when I was a lumberjack, I'd like to get back to that.
Oh, yeah. Now get back to the chopping of the wood.
Yeah, no, an outdoorsy job, something physical, something that it's not like, sitting at a keyboard and making video games all day. As fun as that sounds, I would love to be doing something that was more physical outdoors and dealt with tangible things.
Yes.
You should be a hiking guide. You would be a great hiking guide.
I would like it, but only if I get to wear a stupid outfit.
Like those your Leahy.
A lederhosen.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
And then get all intense, and this. Here, notice the succulents right here. This is a very delicate flower. Don't touch it! Yeah, no, I'd like to do that.
I think you would positively excel at it. Yeah, well, I think we have some answers coming in from viewers about what jobs they would like to have if money was no object. So let's see what their careers would be. Very excited to see this.
If money was no object, my dream job would 100% be the UFC or boxing ringside announcer who would go in the red corner and in the blue corner, because I think I could pull off some hilarious jokes, but obviously Bruce Buffer and his brother are the goats of that.
He's got a good voice for it. I could see that.
Yeah, he did really well with that announcement.
If money was no object, my dream job would be to be an artist.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
If money was no object, I would be a music producer because I love music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe not money were no object. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I honestly have no idea how much zookeepers and people that work at with animals at the zoo make, but I feel like that would be a pretty awesome job to have, because you're just hanging out with animals that people are paying to see for a living every single day, and you're probably becoming super tight with them. So that sounds fun to me. I think I would be a zookeeper.
And you also get to wear a funny uniform, much like being a hiking guide.
If money was no object, and regardless if if I was being paid to do this, I think I'd want to go to every single restaurant I could find and gently sit down on their chairs. I think people underestimate the impact that, first, a good posture, second, a really comfortable chair can have on their dining experience. And, if I was able to really find a very comfortable chair, the one that just kind of you can sink into and just hugs the curves, I think I could become very successful, selling those chairs to all restaurants. And then maybe, it's different types of foods require different types of chairs. Maybe you don't want to have the same kind of chair for a steak as you would for a nice, warm, home-cooked bowl of pasta. But that's what I'm on a mission to find.
You wouldn't eat caviar on a stool.
Yeah, it's a throne.
Wine taster.
What kind of chair though, Dante?
Easy.
Yeah, that didn't take much. It didn't take much time. Well, listen, now is the active part of this game. We're gonna all vote, guys. There's blue buttons across the bottom of your screen. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and click one of the links that's in the chat, and that will open up a window that'll enable you to vote. If you're on BeOnTheAir.com, you'll see those buttons crawling across the bottom of your screen as soon as JJ clicks this button.
Yes.
There we go. Ow! We're seeing little blue buttons across the bottom of our screen, so go ahead and click one of those. The numbers correspond to who you see, so vote for somebody who you thought was illuminating, or an expert, or who you agree with, or you just think you like the cut of their jib. Is there a sailing captain for their dream job?
Oh, we got some good answers. I'm excited to see who wins this one.
Zookeeper.
Zookeeper's an awesome one.
Yeah.
I would like that. I mean, you spend a lot of time shoveling, stuff. But I guess we all do a little bit of that, don't we?
Yeah. You have a litter box, you're a mini zookeeper.
Well, yeah, so true. Wild critters. Yeah, where's my guy? There we go. Critter.
Congratulations, Sam K. Well, shall we move on?
Yes, bring us our transition, Trish.
Okay, so the transition is, I'm very sorry that the restaurant seating guy didn't win, but you were close, probably close second. That leads us into a restaurant where we're talking about maybe a cafe, maybe a coffee cafe. We're talking about the very best way that you can make a cup of coffee.
Nice. Yeah, I don't drink coffee nearly enough, so I don't know if I have like a solid recipe, but I think it honestly a lot of times involves a lot of sweet things, like a lot of sugar, a lot of milk, a lot of creamer. Sometimes I use like a flavored K-cup in my Keurig.
Yeah.
Now that is revolutionary.
I like the flavored coffees. I'm not so into the cream and sugar, but tons of our viewers are, tons of our fans are. We had a lot of talk about lots of sugar and lots of cream.
Yes. No, I completely agree. Although I'm kind of sad because I used to be like a very big proponent of Dunkin' Donuts and their coffee, specifically because of their rewards program. But if you are a real one, you know that a while back they changed their reward program, so you had to get more points to get like those rewards and those coffees. I haven't ordered from Dunkin' online since.
You just feel underappreciated now.
Yes.
Which I get it, because I'm still on the rewards program, but I'm stocking up because I know that once I get that one free coffee, it's going to be like another year until I can get one again. It used to be every $20 you spent, you get a free cup of coffee.
Oh, wow. That was a good deal.
That was a great deal.
Yeah.
Can we have nothing?
Behind you.
Okay, let's get to the answers. I'm done with this.
We're peeved. So I think we have some answers. We do have some answers coming in, so let's see what the fans have to say about this one, what the recipes are.
So I never was really a big fan of coffee until I started watching Emma Chamberlain, and she has her own coffee line. So I bought that, and it's so much better than anything I've tasted.
Emma Chamberlain. I haven't tried that coffee yet, but I'm
heard
intrigued.
It all depends on the roast. I mean, you could put a lot of creamer in, but you have to have a healthy medium because too much creamer might be a little too sweet. That's my personal opinion.
Beware. I think a mature palate is very susceptible to sweet.
When it comes to coffee, freshness is key. So fresh ground is good, but fresh roasted is even better. It's like the difference between a fresh baked cookie and one that was baked a day ago. Completely different. My favorite is a Tanzanian pea berry that's been fresh roasted and then lightly crushed and cold brewed. Cold brewed doesn't kill any of the caffeine or the flavor, so you get that great punch, great flavor, and the greatest cup of coffee in my opinion. Fresh roasted, cold brewed.
I trust him. He seems to know his stuff.
I was gonna say, yeah, very.
Okay, I can
detailed.
answer this with my mom. She loved coffee, but she always told me if you're making a cup of coffee, always clean out your thing. Always clean it out. Don't have a filter in there. No, get a clean filter. You can do it two ways. You can do it the Keurig way, you got like a regular thing, and it does it itself. And then she would do, I think it was 10 creams and 5 sugars. Yeah, it was like a cup of coffee, 10 creams, 5 sugars. It was perfect every time. Perfect every time. But she'd do a Keurig way, where she just use like a little cup, put it in there. She'd make it, or she would do it the traditional way, like a regular coffee thing. And then she would put like the coffee stuff, she would let it get in the cup. Then she would use her creamer. And she would usually pour it in there until it tasted like hazelnut. Like she never really had like, okay, let me put this in there, put this in there. No, my mom literally would shoot. I don't know how she would eyeball it. She did eyeballing things with seasoning. She just knew. And then she would put like a few little things of sugar in. It was perfect every time.
Oh boy.
That's too much. That's a lot.
Life hacks. What's the best method of making the perfect cup of coffee? Get a Keurig? Duh.
Oh, I'm with her on that.
Yeah, it just works.
Life hack. You clean that Keurig, use filtered water, use fresh coffee. Then my little trick is you dump a bunch of milk in it and then a bunch of creamer.
Team cream once again.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you really can't compete with a sweet coffee. I'm not a bitter person. Well, we have all 6 of our answers, so now the time has come for you to vote on your favorites. You can head over to BeOnTheAir.com and click the blue buttons on your screen. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, make sure you head on over there. You can vote for Vivian with her Emma Chamberlain coffee, Zach with his recipe. We have Red Wills with some very specific details, Angel with her mom's recipe, Lashane telling you to get a Keurig, and finally we have Tara asking you to use filtered water. So head on over there. We got it coming up, so make sure you vote for a good one.
Oh man, it can't be the heavy cream and sugar. It just can't be. It's gonna break my heart. Not real coffee.
Yeah, also how big is the cup? Because the ratio is confusing.
Yeah. A vat of coffee, a vat of cream is what you make.
Oh, look at that. I mean, come on, he just knew his stuff. Rev, congratulations.
Oh, well deserved that win. I completely agree.
And I definitely agree too. I think, I feel like I'm seeing a ghost. What's happening?
Good. I had to stop and get a cup of coffee.
A black coffee, I assume.
You know it. You know it. Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. It's like some of these people are making coffee the way that I make a martini, which is like you just got to have some vermouth someplace in the county. And that's the way that they are. It's like, so long as there's like coffee mentioned, in this narrative, it counts as a cup of coffee. It's actually a big milkshake. Coffee flavor.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. But Rev Will, see, I don't know if you guys noticed, his subtitle was Artist of Many Genres. And I think that is the case. He's also a coffee artiste.
Yes. Very well. Very good. Jeez. It was
this transition with your articulate description and way to summarize everything and really bring it home.
I need more coffee. We are moving on. We're going out of the cafe. We're going into a full-blown restaurant or your kitchen because we wanted to know if you could choose your last meal on Earth, what would you have to eat?
Yes. There are so many options and I'm so indecisive, but I feel like I'm gonna go with what my heart is telling me first, which is just some good old mac and cheese. Southern style comfort food, and then maybe on the side just to balance it out, like I really love Caesar salad with chicken. So I guess it's a 2-course meal, and then maybe a martini to finish me off. Because
exactly, yeah, that is a meal unto itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, there's nothing better than mac and cheese.
Yeah, you know what? I hate to say it, 'cause, I've had all these kids, and so there's a lot of kids' food that's come through the house. I like it when they take the mac and cheese and they make like little fingers out of them. Like they cut them into squares and then they fry them again because they're not bad enough for you, and then they come out like they're like little French toast sticks, except mac and cheese.
The Cheesecake Factory has them, but they're ball shaped. They're really good, and you dip them in some marinara sauce.
I'm talking about it.
It's really good. It's really good. Can't lie.
People on this channel, people who watch QOTD Game, love food. The food questions are like constantly off the charts. People love it. They answer it a lot. They do a lot of voting, and then they get a little mad too about it. I like that.
They get passionate. Well, let's see if we have some passionate answers in this one. I predict we will. Let's see what the fans have to say about it.
Last meal would definitely include like boxed mac and cheese, but not the like boring Kraft macaroni ones. I believe that those boxed mac and cheese types where the pasta is like shaped in like a fun way are objectively better. Just the texture makes it taste so much better, whether it's like based off like some kids movie or TV show or some promotion like that. Ever since I started living on my own, I realized I can actually get whatever I want from the grocery store. So I buy the Paw Patrol mac and cheese. I hope that they think I have kids when I'm checking out. I don't. But that is probably my favorite food. And that was what I would get as my last meal.
I'm partial to the dinosaur ones, actually.
I think the trick is the pasta.
My last meal would be my mom's chicken cutlets, because there's nothing like good old Italian chicken cutlets. And I would have to end it with some sort of dessert. And it would be
tiramisu.
Probably Kong ice cream by Zita's in New Providence.
Oh, love Zita's.
New Jersey knows Italian food. It really does.
So my last meal on death row would be like a steak dinner, but specifically cooked by like Gordon Ramsay and like served by Gordon Ramsay. I mean that like he has to be there and like hang out with me during my last meal. I just think that'd be a really entertaining experience and a pretty iconic way to go out.
The trick is ask him to make a cheeseburger and then don't finish it and say you are full. Like that would be the menu.
Death row, my last meal, Five Guys. Boom. I want the big burger, extra cheese, mayo, pickles, freaking raw onions, green peppers, jalapeno peppers, and don't forget a little mustard on there. And I'm gonna get the fries Cajun style with a sweet tea. That would be my death row meal. Beautiful. I lick my fingers after that juicy burger too.
You know, he hit like 5 regional accents and 5 regional ingredients in his burger.
Just get a burger. I get a classic burger and tons of ranch. I'm a ranch person, like, till death. I love it. I love ranch. And if it's my last meal, I'd better have a gallon of Hidden Valley right next to the burger.
I get it.
Ooh, for my last meal, it would be a spread. It would have to be definitely sushi. Definitely some of my mom's cooking, maybe baked ziti, some pizza. Ooh, I don't know what else. Oh, I would want everything. Chinese food. And maybe a milkshake and an ice cream cake. Tiramisu would have to be on there. Yeah, so I would be going out, leaving this realm with a tummy ache. Yeah.
And what a way to go.
Yeah.
Yes. As it should be. Also, speaking of like 5 different cuisines, but like, I feel like that's what you have to do for your last meal. You have to go big. Well, I think we have all of our answers for the show. So, not for the show, for this question. So now is the time to go to BeOnTheAir.com and cast your votes. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, you can head over there right now and click the blue buttons on the bottom of your screen in a second. So are you voting for Phoebe with mac and cheese, Victoria for chicken cutlets and ice cream, Beatrice for Gordon Ramsay's steak dinner, Ill Options for a burger, Zach for just a bunch of ranch dressing, and then Bella with a smorgasbord of different foods and cuisines.
Everything.
Everything.
A lot of big ziti. A lot of pasta showed up.
Yeah, because it's the most comforting, right? So if you're on your way out, you might as well, I don't know, go with a warm feeling in your belly.
Do you know what I'm going with? Lamb chops.
Oh.
Yeah. Nobody mentioned lamb chops.
Lamb chops with mint jelly.
Oh no. Oh my God.
Oh.
So
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah, because Gordon Ramsay will tenderize the steak with his vitriol. He'll tenderize everybody in the room. You know, there's one thing I want to mention, which is that when you're seeing these guys going across the screen, there are little numbers on top, and the numbers are actually their star rating. It's essentially the aggregate of all the times that people have sent them stars in the Amazing Guess and Bid Show. And by the way, I will give a quick plug for that, for the Guess and Bid game, is that if you're on BeOnTheAir.com and you send stars to people, when they win, you also win. You go up the leaderboard and then you show up in the daily recap show. But nevertheless, that's what those numbers represent. And so people with the highest numbers over the course of many questions and many answers have just gotten a lot of popular stars. It's kind of like a rating, except it's stars.
Yeah, and I think that's, this would be another good plug off of that. Subscribe so you can get your notifications of new QOTDs in your inbox. And so then that way you have more time to record your answer, pick up some stars, and make it into the big show. So subscribe. The button's like down there somewhere.
Well, should we move out of the kitchen and into the library?
Are there also like designer chairs there, from City?
That hug your curves. I think that was how he described it. We had a hot button topic here. We wanted to know, are there some books so terrible that they should actually be censored or banned? Wow.
Yeah, the Twilight series. I believe I've mentioned that before. That is.
Really don't like.
I don't think that's what they really mean. I think that they mean books that are offensive to you or are bad or that have messages that are sort of like holdovers from another age in many ways, like that. Like some of the language in Mark Twain is just offensive, but it's Mark Twain and it actually has a depth to it. But the language is just completely unacceptable. And so where do you stand on something like that? So some people say, no, we're trying to move into a more caring age, and so we don't want to have that kind of literature influencing our children, to give one example. But other people just say, no, this is part of our past, and that we're big enough, or we can be guided through these books in school in a way that we can get what's good from them. So I don't know. I actually can see both sides of this equation.
Yes. I feel like for me, I'm personally of the proponent that there should be no books that are like banned outright. I think there are definitely some books that are more appropriate for people, maybe because they have either they have messages people who are more mature would be able to understand, or they have to be treated in such a way that only mature people should be able to read them and really understand what they mean and the context.
Like the restricted book section in Harry Potter.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
First years can't go in there.
No, none of that. I think there should be none. But also, I think it's if there are books that have strong languages, strong messages, offensive language and offensive messages. I don't think they should be banned, but I think it's sort of like the racist Disney cartoons where it's we should keep them around with the understanding that it's we're learning from them, and if we don't learn history, we're doomed to repeat it. So that kind of argument. But I think it's we need to make it clear that that's the thing that we're keeping it around for, not because of you.
Like a rating system, like movies. I think that's what you're proposing. We have that. We didn't have that until the 30s, and then, we collectively decided that we needed that. So maybe you're right.
Yeah, well, I think we have some answers coming in from fans of this question. So let's see what they have to say about this very hot button issue.
I don't think any books are so bad that they should be censored or banned, because books are just different people's opinions, and I feel like everyone's opinions should be heard and considered. So I don't think any book should be censored or banned for their different opinions.
A proponent of the free marketplace of ideas. Thank you, Wei.
I think some books should be banned because some of them are so terrible and you don't really learn much from certain books. For example,
Twilight.
I'll start with Lord of the Flies. We're always asked to read this book in high school. How often is it that you're trapped on a deserted island with 30 other boys and you need to devise some sort of social hierarchy to rule everybody? Not very often. Is it an interesting book? Not really. Would I say it's terrible and should be banned? Yeah.
I don't think it was a user manual.
Yeah, it's a parable, Hector.
Yes, there definitely
Apocalypse
are some
for
books that
Dummies.
should be banned or censored. There's like a whole list of books that actually are that can't be read in certain schools and stuff. Can't think of any off the top of my head because honestly I haven't read a book in a while. But yeah.
50 Shades of Grey.
Perfect summer school reading. Right?
No, I don't think any books are so terrible that they should be censored or banned. It's up to the reader to decide if they want to read it. And if the library provides it, then it should be there.
That's fair. User discretion. User's discretion is advised.
Are some books so terrible they should be censored or banned? For this question, I'm going to go with my Year 9 math textbook. That should be banned. Especially the section on trigonometry, at least. That whole section should be censored and just move on because no one ever uses that in life.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that one.
Let's not even mention like isosceles triangles. You know, that's not advertiser friendly.
I don't think any book should be banned or censored. I mean, I think people have a right to say what they want and read what they want and make that decision for themselves. Some may not be your like genre or you may not like it, but I mean, you don't have to finish reading it or even pick it up again. So,
good point. Yeah.
We have a wide variety of opinions here. So this is going to be a very interesting vote. So folks, click those blue buttons on the bottom of your screen to vote for the one that you agreed with. You know, we have like Wei and Shiv and Andrew. They're saying like, no, you know, let's you know, evaluate these ideas and make some good decisions. Hector's like, Lord of the Flies has got to go. Becca's like, yeah, sometimes, you know, you gotta do that. And Brendan, I think facetiously says his Year 9 mathematics textbook should be banned for the harm that it causes children. So let's go ahead and vote.
Yes, let's hit it.
One of these lucky people will go to the finals. It's whoever you vote for. I think it's a very interesting question, but you know, I think that as always with these things, people seem to be coming to like a reasonable middle ground, except for Brett.
Yeah, I feel like it's like often in a lot of these books, it's a learning aspect where it's like you can see the use in it or not. And I think, yeah.
Hector!
Oh.
I think Hector should go back and read that book again. And if you say that you never have to create a new society with a hierarchical structure, you clearly never worked at a tech startup. But yeah, you got to reinvent that every couple of months.
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah, but no cannibalism, no heads on spikes.
Not yet.
Right, we're getting close to month 3. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, the company is young. Who knows?
That's right. Well, we asked your personal opinion about banning books, and now we're asking our fans for a personal reveal. We wanted to ask them, what is the last lie that you told someone, and why did you tell it?
Well, I've never told a lie, so my last lie would be that one right there. I gotta say that I have this like one famous lie. Should I tell you guys?
Yes.
So when I was in my 20s, I got a significantly sized tattoo and on my back, and I hid it from my parents, who were against that sort of thing, for 25 years. And you know what? It wore on me. It really did. And I regret not just being an adult and just saying I did something that you're not going to like. I just didn't want the hassle of it, you know? So it was one of those things where, and you'll see this in some of the other fan answers, people like, they lie sometimes to protect somebody's feelings, or sometimes they lie because they just don't want to go through the hassle and it's nobody else's business. Sometimes they just lie because they did something that they're ashamed of. I wasn't really ashamed. But yeah, in the end, I would say that I wish that I had just, manned up, as they say, and just said it and like dealt with it. And then I would have had a better relationship with my parents for having been a little bit more, open about who I was. It took me years. Mm-hmm. So now they know everything. And I would like to apologize to them for the stuff I told them, as well as the stuff that I didn't tell them. Thanks, Mom. Dad. Well, let's hear what the fans had to say.
Yeah,
let's hear their lies. Lies.
Let's see, from the little white lies to the big ones, let's see what they have to say on
The
this.
last lie I told was to the Starbucks barista who asked me where my dog was, because there must be a regular that looks like me or drives the same car. And I basically made up this whole story about what what breed my dog was and his name. And yeah, I felt bad. I didn't want to embarrass her, but I basically embarrassed myself.
Yeah. Trish has a story like that too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Very good.
The last lie I told was to my dad. I said that I was too busy to call him, and it's just I just didn't want to talk to anyone.
Oh, Christina.
Yeah,
she makes me a little
I
sad.
think that I liked someone's outfit even when I didn't.
White lie, right?
Yeah.
If they feel confident in it,
The last lie I told was that I was busy this weekend, too busy to hang out with like my friends or family, and I told it because I really just wanted some alone time.
I'm gonna say it's a red flag when you start lying to people because you want to be on your own.
All right, so the last lie I told, I was on a dating app. I said I was about 6'5", and that's not the truth, but we never ended up meeting up, so it wasn't the end of the world.
I like that lie though. That's the lie that you just like come out there and like throw it down.
Was when my roommate asked me if I liked her outfit, and I was like, yeah, I love it, it's so cute. But in reality, I didn't love it, but it wasn't that bad. And I didn't want to make her feel self-conscious because she was like just about to leave for work. So I just decided to keep things simple and just tell a little white lie.
Did she like just say, girl, change? That's very funny. But the funny thing is that if she had said it like that, her friend knew she was lying. That's a good lie. I like the lies that you tell that people know you're lying and they just embrace it because that's what they want to hear. Well, guys, it's time to vote. I know you all voted last time. Vote again. That's a lie. Some of you voted, and I thank you all. But now it's time to vote. We're going to send one of these guys to the finals. Who is it that you really like? There were some good lies in here. Quinn says he's 6'5". Quinn, I don't know. Maybe you are 6'5", as far as I know. Neva, she gives a little fashion lie. We heard the same kind of lie from Caitlin. And Irvi and Christina, they were both like, I'm going to lie so that you guys leave me alone so that I can just sit here and eat ice cream and watch TV. I respect that, actually. You know what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and vote for one of these guys and send them to the finals. Can't you just say, I want to be alone?
Yeah, ticket show night. Take some me time.
But then what if people worry about you? Then you worry about them worrying. Like, are you okay? Well, actually, let me come over. And it's like, oh, no.
It's the last thing you want, but it's probably, maybe it's what you need. Or just say the truth. Just say, I'm so tired of you.
Of you?
I'm just done with you.
Of you specifically. Oh.
The fashion lie, it's funny. Where do we stand on this one? Team QOTD. I mean, don't they need to know that it's the wrong dress?
I think if it's horrific, absolutely. If it's going to make them actually look bad or, in any way. But other than that, I don't even think it's a lie. I think it's being kind. Like, clearly, if you really love something, you're excited about it, and it's not really my cup of tea, I'm just being kind. It's like, yeah, you look great. You feel great. You look great.
I got to tell you guys a quick story. So in one of my first jobs, when I had people working for me for the very first time, I had this woman who I worked with, and she was just great, but she was one of my reports. And she had just gotten engaged, and her boyfriend picked her out a dress to wear to work every day. And it was just like the sluttiest dress you can possibly conceive of. It was just skin tight and, and she wore it well, but it was totally inappropriate for work. But she's like, what do you think of this? And I was like, I think you look great. I didn't want to be commenting on her clothing because I felt really awkward. And I was like, yeah, no, you look great. Go ahead and go to that meeting with the chairman. And then the next day she came back, she goes, I wore this for my parents, and they gave me the full rundown. And she was really mad at me for not protecting her from going out into the world wearing the F me dress. And so I don't know. So where do you go? You gotta protect your people. And sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah, that was some misplaced anger, though. That wasn't your job.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was gonna say, shouldn't she be mad at her significant other buying her the dress?
He was just young. He doesn't know any better. I mean, and it was perfectly fine if you were going out. I mean, it was more than fine. It was a great dress, but it just wasn't right for work. I should have said something. That's what I'm gonna say. Sometimes you gotta do the uncomfortable thing to help out your people.
That's why I feel like if you're in the other position and you're not sure about an outfit, have a backup and ask people which they prefer. Yeah, see, it makes it a fun little game instead of like a litmus test of my friendship.
Well said. It's good advice, Reid. This is why we have this show, right? We're trying to glean wisdom from these silly answers. But that was great. Good question, good answers, everybody.
Mm-hmm. And a backup dress might be something you would need if, in the case of an emergency, you had to pack just 3 things in a bag really quickly, get out of Dodge. What would they be? Very topical question this week, given the state of the wildfires in Canada. And what do you guys think?
Well, I'm taking this shirt for sure, unless you guys tell me not to. Okay. No, but seriously, this is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I've been thinking about this. I think my answer, I might cheat a little bit because first item I would take is my phone, but that has it's a memory thing. It's a sentimental device because it has photos, and it doubles as my wallet because it has a little wallet component in it. So I would put some cash in there, some cards, and be on my merry way. And then other than that, I'm changing my answer from the other day. I'm doing sentimental. So I have a Squishmallow or a stuffed animal that was a present from a friend that I would take along. And then I got a set of these really cool teacup rings from another friend's. It's literally just rings with a tea set on them. And they were just so cool. And so I would probably take that too.
Yeah, you're not gonna take your keys, your wallet, your phone. It's the teacup rings. I'm with you. You can always get another phone.
That is so funny.
Thank God for iCloud. Yeah. Okay, this is not, I'm sorry, I just have to share that I found this clothing store that actually sells a dress in this tiny little box that you could theoretically fit into your purse. I guess if you were in a pinch. I don't know, say you go out somewhere and you stained your clothes or something like that, you just open up the little box and you pop this dress right on.
It erases the walk of shame. It's good.
Exactly.
But you got that and a toothbrush and a subway token. And that's what we used to say.
And there
There's
you
no
go.
such thing as a subway token.
Metro card.
You got some good shoes to hop the turnstile.
Yeah, a business card with some fake numbers on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now in the city, if you take your phone, you can use that as your Metro card.
Yet another reason. I think I may go get a phone. I like this idea. You guys have convinced me.
You gotta get, it's the way of the future, man. You gotta get on it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I think we have some answers coming in from fans, so let's see what is in their go bags and whether any of their answers overlap with ours.
My 3 items would be my laptop, my phone, and my wallet.
Practical.
Laptop. Interesting.
I would definitely grab my phone, my laptop, and the chain my grandma left to me before she died.
Yeah, it's a combination of the practical and the sentimental. That's nice.
I'm being evacuated. I would definitely grab my phone, my laptop, and as many clothes as I can.
Just run about with a whole heap of clothes in your arms.
But leave the laptop, grab the cannolis.
In what would, God forbid, be the worst situation ever, if I were to be immediately evacuated from my home, I would grab 3 things. They would be my phone, my laptop, and my animal.
Or what? Our animal.
Yeah.
It's not an item.
3 things that I would take in case of a fire. One would certainly be my guitar. I've written most of my songs on that one guitar. Then my phone for photos and memories. And last but not least, my first ever signed hockey jersey.
Oh.
Yeah, the practical and the sentimental.
I'm gonna be bringing with me some family photo albums, my cats, and I guess a change of clothes. Gotta have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta have that.
Exactly. Very important.
No one grabbed a flashlight. No one grabbed water. No one grabbed
Who needs that stuff?
Yeah.
No, listen, everybody, it's time to vote. Are we going to vote for the practical, the sentimental, or some combination thereof? Click the blue buttons on the bottom of your screen and decide. Was it Colate or Tracy or Megan or Maddie or Spencer? Who is it we're going to vote for? Luis? Yeah, no, I didn't. I should grab my reading glasses on the way out the house. I couldn't see his name. But now I got it. So vote for one of those guys. Click the blue buttons on the bottom of your screen. If you don't have some clickable blue button, maybe you're on YouTube, there's a link in the chat that will take you directly to a place where you can vote for one of these folks. Yep. So, let's send somebody to the finals, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's see who it is.
It was a good answer.
Yeah. That's...
Signed. Was it a signed hockey jersey?
Yeah.
Sake jersey. That's what I would have, competitive sake bombs. But it was so interesting. The question is one of these questions that's kind of deceptively deep, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm going out the house. What do I have on the door? But it's really about what is most valuable to you among all this like stuff that we surround ourselves with. If you had to like jettison everything, right? You're going to be in The Walking Dead, What are you going to keep with you? And I like it. And, for me, I got to say that I am very sentimental and I have objects that mean a lot to me because of who gave them to me or what I've been through with it or whatever it's going to be. You guys have seen that red jacket that I love that red jacket, But so I think that we're kind of learning about each other. I think that's the essence of this question. It's like our true selves are in our things, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as we learned, for a lot of people, their true selves are on their phones. And, like memories. They also have flashlights on their phones, so it speaks a lot to society.
Everyone brought a phone, but no one brought a charger. So good luck with that flashlight. No.
I guess that's why they brought the laptops. You're going to plug it into their laptop until their laptop is dead.
Well, we might have needed a to-go bag for that question, but we don't need an overnight bag for the next question because it is a matter of the absolute worst first date you ever had. I have a friend, I swear it's not me, but she was set up on a blind date and she got to his house and it was like super awkward and there was no conversation. And he just looked at her and he goes, hey, you want to go blow some stuff up? And she's like, what? And he's like, come with me. And he takes her out in the backyard and he blew up like 3 pumpkins, like these homemade explosives. And then he detonated a television. And she's like, I gotta go. I just gotta go.
And he's like, I don't know what happened, man. That's a surefire win. That's a sure thing. And that is really, really funny.
Oh my God.
Well,
the TV.
Yeah, tell her I'm sorry. Yeah.
So let me get this straight. He had a TV, and instead of his first thought being like, let's watch a movie, let's watch some TV shows, let's like watch something, his first thought was, let's blow it up.
You want to blow some stuff up?
For those of you who are new here, Trish is a kind of a country girl. So that's the way that they play out in rural America. They blow stuff up.
Detonate pumpkins.
Yeah.
Perfect. No.
It's kind of hot.
Sure.
What a way to get to know somebody right off the bat, though. I mean,
yeah,
you can't really do it on the 3rd or 4th thing. You kind of have to just go off with a bang.
Yeah, and in fact, in that way, it's actually kind of considerate. Look, I just want to let you know what kind of person I am. So let's go, like, blow some junk up.
Pyromaniac. Well, I think that was an incredible story. Let's see if any of these fan answers that are coming in can compare to that. It's a tough battle, though.
Okay. This one's really easy. The worst first date I ever had, I went to this Irish pub with this guy who I barely knew. I was 16, and the entire time, for 3 hours, he talked about why he didn't believe in evolution. And I stayed. I was so brave at 16 for staying. I stayed the entire time. I was just like, this is the worst thing ever. So I'm sorry, Tyler. No second.
Would you guys have stayed the entire time, or would you guys have snuck out?
My worst first date story was when I went to the restaurant, but it was like the wrong restaurant, and so it was very embarrassing for a while, since I waited for a long time before I realized, oh yeah, this is not the place I was supposed to be at. So yeah.
Oh no, that's the worst.
I kid you not. On one of my first dates, I actually had a guy ask if his mom could come. Seriously. Let's just say I allowed it, but there was no second date after that.
Yikes. You know, I would totally love the guy who blew up stuff
The
more
worst
than...
first date I have ever been on wasn't anything like profound or like ridiculously terrible, but it was just a like long drawn out dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, which usually takes a couple of hours, but there were so many awkward silences and pauses. I just couldn't find ways to fill the silence, and there was just like no connection.
She should have had the mac and cheese balls.
My worst first date was one that I did not want to happen at all, but the guy showed up to my apartment and knocked on the side of my window after I had canceled. So I awkwardly said hi through the window and went outside and got coffee with him. Never texted him again.
Stalker.
That is terrifying. That's so much.
My first worst date would have to be my first time going out with someone I met online. We went to the movies, actually. We talked for like 2 months before we actually went out.
And we'll never know. We can trust that it was bad, though.
Yeah, so everybody, it is time for us to vote. Is it going to be Bella, who, you know, she had a bad date with a flat earther? Brianna went to the wrong restaurant. Heather, the guy brought his mother along on the date, which is very interesting. Alexis, you know, she had an awkward date, and that's like something that we probably all experienced. Angelicia, stop dating stalkers. Angel had an online date that went very badly. Let's vote for one of these guys. Vote for the one that you thought was like a person that you connected with, or who you thought had a good answer, or who was entertaining or illuminating, or got to the heart of the matter. This crazy dating world we live in. Click on the blue button and let's send one of these people to the finals. If you are on YouTube, there is a link in the chat that will open up a window that immediately allows you to vote. How about that?
Love it.
Yeah.
We had some pretty good stories in there. Pretty good. I mean, cringy, awkward, and some very worrying stories.
Yeah, that one is bad.
Why you gotta fight with me at cheesecake? I'm so glad you won, Alexis. I was waiting to make that joke.
So this got to happen all the time with online dating. Like I'm from the pre-online dating period, but I mean, how can you don't know who somebody is before you go out with them as much as you might in the back in the 30s and 40s when I was dating. And so like it must happen all the time. And then like, how do you cut bait on these things? You just walk out, you just go, oh, thanks a lot, gotta go. I got another appointment. Oh, my friend, you have a friend that like, show up. How you doing?
I think like one of the benefits of living in New York is that you can always be like, oh, I gotta catch this train because I never know when another one will come ever. And that's a lie, but it's like you understand that it's a lie too, and you just never see each other again.
Right, you're running down the road like block.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, it's such a fun time. I have to go. Like,
yeah, I've trained. There's delays. Like,
it's like,
so
oh my
iffy.
god, it's brutal out there. You never know.
And so, what's the percentage of dates that end in the lie?
It's actually only been one, but I trust that there will be plenty more fake
Indeed.
train delays in my future. Yes.
Yeah.
Did he say he was 6'3"?
Joseph was like,
And I was like, wait, that would make me 6'3", so I don't understand.
I like it.
Yeah, it's like if you're 6'3", then I'm like 7'5".
That guy, he said it for like no reason, so I think he is just a sociopath. Nothing against sociopaths. He just likes a good story, maybe.
Well, we have made it. We have gone through all 7 questions for the week. We have gone through all the answers. We've chosen winners for each one. So that means we have to choose a winner of all winners in the winners rounds.
Yay.
Wow.
So we have gone through 7 questions, right? And so now we're going to go back. We're going to listen to the winner of each round, just to kind of remind you guys of what amazing thing was said about biggest fattest lie you ever told or whatever. And then we're going to vote and we'll pick the best of the best. And this is hard because sometimes it's like comparing like apples and oranges, as they say, but we need to pick the best because there can be only one, right? It's right there in the premise of the show. There has to be a winner. And after all, we're from America, and therefore there has to be a champion. Yeah. So let's hit it.
We do not give out participation trophies on QOTD. Only winners. Yes, so let's go through the recap.
The first date I have ever been on wasn't anything like profound or like ridiculously terrible, but it was just a like long drawn out dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, which usually takes a couple of hours, but there were so many awkward silences and pauses. I just couldn't find ways to fill the silence, and there was just like no connection.
Worst first date. Alexis has it nailed.
3 things that I would take in case of a fire. One would certainly be my guitar. I've written most of my songs on that one guitar. Then my phone for photos and memories. And last but not least, my first ever signed hockey jersey.
Spencer's telling us about the 3 things that he would take if he had to evacuate quickly from his house for some reason.
Someone's outfit even when I didn't.
Caitlin's telling us about the last lie she told, which was a kind of a gentle white lie. Go on, Hector.
I think some books should be banned.
Dirty dog.
Because some of them are so terrible and you don't really learn much from certain books. For example, I started with Lord of the Flies. We're always asked to read this book in high school. But how often is it that you're trapped on a deserted island with 30 other boys and you need to devise some sort of social hierarchy to rule everybody? Not very often. Is it an interesting book? Not really. Would I say terrible and should be banned? Yeah.
So Hector's answering the question, are some books so terrible or so bad for you that they should be banned?
When it comes to coffee, freshness is key. So fresh ground is good, but fresh roasted is even better. It's like the difference between a fresh baked cookie and one that was baked a day ago. Completely different. My favorite is a Tanzanian pea berry that's been fresh roasted and then lightly crushed and cold brewed. Cold brewed doesn't kill any of the caffeine or the flavor, so you get that great punch, great flavor, and the greatest cup of coffee in my opinion. Fresh roasted, cold brewed.
Rev is answering the question, life hack, how do you make the perfect cup of coffee?
I honestly have no idea how much like zookeepers and people that work at like with animals at the zoo make, but I feel like that would be a pretty awesome job to have, because you're just like hanging out with animals that people are paying to see like for a living every single day. You're probably becoming like super tight with them. So that sounds fun to me. I think I would be a zookeeper.
Sam K, microbiology at UCLA, tells us that the dream job he would like to have.
My last meal on death row would be like a steak dinner, but specifically cooked by like Gordon Ramsay and like served by Gordon Ramsay. I mean that like he has to be there and like hang out with me during my last meal. I just think that'd be a really entertaining experience and a pretty iconic way to go out.
Beatrice H, girl boss, is telling us about if she had a choice of a last meal, which would she pick? Well, it's voting time, folks. This is the time that we're going to pick the champion of the champions. So click on one of the blue buttons on the bottom of your screen if you are on YouTube or maybe on Twitch. If you click on the link in chat, it will take you to a page where you can click on one of these buttons and send one of these people into the throne of the weekly champion.
Here we go. I think this is a really good week of answers and questions. Good job, everyone.
Yeah, I've had some surprises today. Gordon Ramsay only got mentioned once in a food question. Usually he gets mentioned 3 or 4 times. Oh, and here we come with the winning answer. This is a squid.
Whoa!
Wow.
Take that, William S. Golding.
Yeah, wow. You guys are some haters.
Wow. So, censorship not dead on QOTD. We're going to get rid of all the books from high school that we didn't like.
Yeah, no.
Zen the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance is next on the list.
I just love, like, Lord of the Flies was like what to expect when you're expecting an apocalyptic dystopian scenario. It's like,
yeah, it's a field guide for if you want to be a survivor candidate too.
So you ended up on a deserted island.
Darn, I should have read that book. But they banned it at my school because
I'm just saying, Hector, be careful.
Yeah.
Next plane you get on. Never know.
You're gonna need to learn how to hunt. You need to hunt a hog, and you're gonna have no idea how to do it. It's gonna be so.
Yeah.
Wow.
So guys, it was a great week, right? Good questions. They were tied together by some theme that I didn't totally follow, Trish, but
fire.
It's because it came before the coffee question. If it had come after the coffee question, I would have understood it.
I'm gonna let you replay this.
Yeah.
After we go live.
Yeah.
And then I'll accept your apology.
All right. It was something about fire, right? It was a fire set of questions. That's where we were. But the way this whole thing works, so now we have finished the week, right? It goes Thursday through Friday through Thursday Big Show, and that kind of ends the week with our champion. Congratulations, Hector. And now we're going to go into a new week, and this is your chance to become the champion of next week at the next Thursday Big Show, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 12:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So the way that you do it is you pay attention. Each day we're going to release a new question. If you subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, you will get it in your inbox every day. Make sure to turn notifications on when you subscribe so that you get a little notice that says, here's our announcement. Every day a new announcement comes, and then you can click on the button. You can record your own answer if you feel like you've got the winning answer to this one and share it with the world. You can be on the air in our 24-hour live show. You can show up in our daily recaps. And then if you have one of the best answers, you can show up right here on the Thursday Big Show and become the QOTD champion of the week, like Hector. So the way that we begin is by coming up with some questions, but it's not going to be released until I think 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, which is midnight Greenwich Mean Time. But you know what? Let's like throw a bone to our fans, huh? What do you say we give them like a little taste of what's coming? Maybe they can start thinking about next week's questions. Trish, help us out here.
You say to give them a little taste, because our next QOTD has to do with special people in the kitchen. We're cooking and baking, and then after that, we're talking about bucket lists and businesses and all kinds of good stuff.
Sometimes buckets are involved when I cook.
Buckets of water.
And buckets that start empty. But wow, so it's going to be a foodie kind of week. I like that. And I got to say that the food questions, people really answer them a lot. People care about food. I like food too. So many different kinds of food. If you ate 3 times a day, you couldn't eat them all. Yeah. So I would say subscribe, stay tuned here, check in from the weekend. You can see all the questions are going to pop up right here on our channel, or go to BeOnTheAir.com. You can register and get your questions in your email every day and then answer, because we can't wait to see you on TV. For everybody at QOTD and Consolidated Wonder, I would like to thank everybody who watched, voted, and shared. Everybody have a great weekend, especially you guys. Reid, Trish, JJ, you guys be good this weekend. No lies.
Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, I can't.
Yeah, I won't promise. Yeah.
All right, see everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.